Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. What can you say? I mean, the guy murdered his wife and his son, and you know, the only thing you can say about that is it's detestable. You know, as a father of two sons, I cannot imagine ever getting to the level or point where I would think that, for whatever reason, my son would be better off with me killing him. But again, I'm one of those people that instead I don't just look at the piece of Velcro sitting on the table. I ask the larger reason, take a step back and ask the larger reason. What got Chris Benoit to the level of doing that? Chris Benoit, that I know, was the most calm and peaceful person I'd ever been around in the business. I can't tell you how many times he stopped me from beating the hell out of people in bars. So what led that peaceful guy to do what he did? Again, take a look at the larger picture. This guy had been in the WWE for 10 plus years, a place that prides itself on screwing with its workers when they want to. They had just cut his paycheck after they knew he built $1 million home and he had to pay for it. And I can't speak for all the reasons. God only knows what was going on through Chris Benoit's head. But I do know that when you're in the WWF for 10 years, that's a hell of a run. That's a prison sentence. And the way that they play games up there in the dressing room, stupid things, just day in and day out. You know, and you multiply that out 250, 280 plus days a year. Then even when you have off time, you're still constantly gearing up towards the next time on the show. So wrestlers really have no downtime when you're at that level, when you're at the WWE and being pushed to that degree. From Vince's standpoint, I totally understand it. You don't make him any money sitting at home, so he needs you out on the road to make money. But if you know the creative genius that he supposedly is, if he can't be creative enough to figure out a way to make money on me when I'm sitting at home, I mean, every actor out there is making money for the studios and the companies that they work for. I'm sure Vince McMahon, if he really wanted to, really had the impetus to do so, could figure out a way to make money off of Shane Douglas or fill in the blank of the wrestler when I'm sitting at home, as opposed to necessitating me being out on the road, hurt, away from my family. You know, how many the divorce rate in this business, if it's not over 75%, I'd be shocked. And that's another symptom of what's wrong. What Chris Benoit did, like I said, none of us will ever know. We'll only be able to try to fill in that blank. But something led Chris Benoit to do that. And I don't believe that Chris Benoit, for the dozens of years that I knew him, could be that calm and peaceful of a person for the 24 hours a day that I spent with him for multiple years on end. And just all of a sudden one day, the real Chris Benoit came out. Something pushed that peaceful guy to do that. And you know, you answer the question for me. You know, what was in Chris Benoit's life at that time would lead him to do that? You know, the only thing I saw or can see from my vantage point is he was a WWE employee, and I know the games they play up there. And you know, from Vince's standpoint, here's a guy who builds $1 million home. Let's just cut his paycheck to see how he responds. Because if I cut his paycheck, he can't go anyplace because he's got to make that monthly mortgage payment, and he's now betrothed to me. It's like a drug dealer. You know, give you those first couple hits for free. Then once you're hooked, now I can charge you top dollar. Vince McMahon does the same thing. He gives you this orgy of money, and when you hit that level, and then once you're hooked on it, and you've got a $50,000 a month mortgage payment, or God knows whatever that would be on $1 million home, and you've got 3 cars, and you've got kids in private schools, and you've got all these bills coming in. Now I'm going to cut your paycheck. Where are you going to go? You know, I mean, it is what it is. You know, it's me making this stuff up. I mean, it's factual stuff, and I'm sure any wrestler that doesn't work for him, that's not fearful of repercussion, can verify the things that I'm saying. That's why I choose not to work for him. You know, and I'm thankful to God above, the Almighty, that I don't have to answer to him on that, because I know the kind of person that Shane Douglas is, and I know I couldn't do that without cracking. You know, and did whenever I worked there. So my heart goes out to all those guys that are, you know, stuck there and not knowing what to do with it. And it doesn't have to be that way. You know, I mean, in what other profession? If I'm a professional football player, do the Pittsburgh Steelers screw with their players like that? Does the Philadelphia Flyers, the Chicago Bulls? I mean, again, fill in the blank. There's absolutely no reason for it. It's just what it is. And when you have somebody that controls the business like Vince McMahon does, pretty much can do what he wants, and he has. You know, and I think that's going to lead to tragedies like Chris Benoit.